Hello and welcome. We're about to get started, but I wanted to explain what we're going to do today. So for this new project, we are going to take the idea of drawing something by hand and turning it into a digital image. So we're going to combine those two concepts with this project. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a hand-drawn image. Now, to do this, we want to remember one thing as we get started. It is best to do this as a very high contrast image. So I am going to use a blank piece of clean white paper, no lines on it, and I'm also going to use a black Sharpie marker. Now, if you don't have a black marker, you could also use a black pen, but the idea is we really want a strong contrasting image. So the Sharpie is going to be probably the best bet here for this. So the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to go through this drawing part today. So I'm going to show you my camera. We're going to draw this image and then we'll pull it into our digital software tomorrow or the next session. So we're going to go ahead and open up our camera here. All right, there you see my camera. So all I have here is my placemat because I am using a Sharpie. I don't want it to go through the paper and onto my desk. So I have a placemat underneath my paper and I have my piece of paper. Again, this is going to be a very simple drawing, but the idea is once you understand the process of doing this with a simple drawing, you can get more complex. We want to make sure as we draw that everything touches the existing line, okay, if that makes sense. So we're going to start on the edge of our paper here, and we're going to draw a tropical landscape. So we're going to start by drawing a mound of sand. So a very simple, easy curve from left to right. The curve touches both sides of my paper. Okay. The next thing that we're going to start to do is we're going to draw some palm trees up here in the top. So I'm going to start somewhere about a third, if I'm dividing this in thirds from top to bottom, somewhere about in that top third. I'm going to start there and I'm going to draw a slight curved line, a little bit of a wiggle down to the bottom of my sand. It needs to touch the sand. And I'm going to start back up at the top there, closer to that same line. I'm going to kind of mimic it, echo it, follow it down, but get a little bit wider as it comes down to the base. I'm going to do the same thing here on the left side. So I'm going to start up about in that third. And I'm going to bring down my trunk of my tree, start close, but as I get closer to the bottom of my paper, widen out. All right, so there are the trunks kind of created this V shape. I'm going to put three, I guess these are coconuts, at the end. So 3 circles, closing those off. So again, I don't have any line that doesn't connect to something that's closed off there. And then from the coconuts, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw curved lines. And the curvier these are, the more your branches of your palm tree are bending. Okay, so I put 5 on that side. We do the same thing over here. Curve, 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 and one last one. Okay, so after you have those lines, we're going to put the underside of the palm branches on there. And those are just going to be kind of a wavy line. But again, they're going to touch at both locations. So I don't have anything open. Just kind of some zigzag lines. Really simple drawing here. Okay, but I'm making sure everything connects. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. So some zigzag lines. It's going to kind of look like an animation or a cartoon style project. Okay, like that. I'm trying to decide if I want another palm tree, palm frond over here. So I'm going to put another curve here. And it connects. All right, so I've got my 2 palm trees. The next thing we want to do is we're on this island, tropical island of sand. So we're going to put a line that represents where the water and the sky meet. So I'm just going to kind of come back in here somewhere, start at the edge of my paper, draw straight across. When I touch the side of the palm tree, I'm going to lift, go over to the other side, connect those 2, and all the way over. Okay, so I've got sand, water, sky. Maybe we want to put some off in the distance, another island or another piece of land back there. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to kind of just draw in some curves. Each of those lines touches. I have some overextended parts, but they all touch. So that's going to be some land over there with maybe some trees. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to put some curvy lines in. This is going to help our viewer too. It forces our viewer to look into the most important part of the composition. And then let's go ahead and say like this is like sunset, right? So we'll have the sun setting. So I'm going to put the sun right there, drawing a nice circle. If you wanted to find something to trace that was a circle, you could do that too. All right, and that's all that I'm going to require for you for this drawing. If you want to take this a step further and you want to add shells on the beach or birds flying in the sky or some simple things in the water, you could, okay? But this is the requirement for the drawing, so get that much done. All right, and after you have that much done, just put that in a safe place so you have it and you are ready for our next session. If you have any concerns or questions, please reach out and let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the process.